Whew, thank God that transfer window is finally shut. Deadline day, wow, Villa left pretty much all their business till the final hours, didn't they? Harvey Elliot, Jaden Sancho, Victor Lindelof through the door. It didn't go without its drama. Emmy Martinez, we'll talk about him again as well, of course. He was left a little bit red-faced on deadline day, wasn't he? But it was like a throwback to the old days, wasn't it? Jim White, yellow tie, Sky Sports News, deals happening all over the place. And Villa were one of those teams that were heavily involved. So we're going to take a look at those incomings, the summer as a whole, how it's been, and why we're so happy that that window is finally shut and we can just focus on the season now. We know who's there, and our season is going to start in just under 2 weeks' time against Everton. It's a fresh start. Villa have to start to rebuild and get the season finally going. I couldn't wait for the Premier League season to start, and it doesn't feel like it has at all. 3 games in, not even 1 goal to celebrate, but better times are to come. So let's take a look at it, guys. Of course, the one that jumps off the page, I think is going to get most of us excited, is that of Harvey Elliot from Liverpool. 22-year-old, bags and bags of potential. I'm really happy about this one. Obviously, we had the links to Asensio, we had the links to Lucas Paquetá. Don't know how much truth there was in that. There's no smoke without fire, but there's been all kinds of rumours going on in this transfer window. But for me, Harvey Elliott, that is the best signing out the 3. I'm not saying he's the best player out the 3 at this moment in time, but he's young. Like I said, he's 22. Bags of potential. We've seen what he's capable of already playing for Liverpool. Again, he was highly thought of there. I don't think they were desperate to get rid of him. I think Harvey Elliott was eager to make the move happen. He believed in the project. Unai Emery could develop him as a player, and it's, of course, the main thing for him is he's going to get plenty of game time. So really excited about this one. It's a loan with obligation to buy for a fee of around 35 million. I believe we're seeing that obligation is based on him making 10 Premier League appearances, reportedly. So touch wood, no injuries, that's going to be a given, isn't it? He's going to get lots of game time at Aston Villa. So this is a real clever bit of business for me. And I'm surprised it was left till this late in the market, if I'm being honest. Like I say, the links with Asensio, who ended up going to Fenerbahce for a really small fee. Makes me wonder what was actually going on there. Were Villa as interested as made out? It seems like Asensio was hanging on, waiting for Villa to come calling, but it didn't come. And yeah, it was a strange one, as Paquetá as well. Was Paquetá the second choice? Was he the first choice? Was Elliot the third? It's a bit confusing, really. It was a bit of a scattergun approach from Villa, or at least it seemed that come deadline day. But I do think Villa got the best deal in the end. Like I say, room to grow, 22 years old, potential resale value as well if he goes on to be a revelation at Villa and someone comes and offers silly money in the future. Villa are going to make a huge profit, aren't they? Reportedly, Liverpool do have that buyback clause or buyback option. Again, not sure exactly how much that is. They also have a sell-on fee, so I believe, again, I'm not 100% sure of what that percentage for that sell-on fee is, but if that's to happen, it's only going to be a positive for Villa because it means he's going to be a very good player for Aston Villa. So that is what I'm really excited about. Good pals with Morgan Rogers as well, isn't he? So hopefully that can be a rocket up Morgan Rogers as well. Get him firing, get him going again. A little bit of competition for him. Good pal of his. So fingers crossed that helps Morgan Rogers rediscover his form. Of course, the other big transfer of the day, is Jaden Sancho. That's, for me, this one is going to split the fan base a little bit, isn't it? Probably a little bit 50-50 on this one. For me, I'm excited by it. We need width. I wouldn't say he's a winger that hugs the touchline particularly. Probably similar-ish to Ramsey in a way. I do think he has higher quality than Jacob Ramsey, but Jacob Ramsey will hold strengths that Jaden Sancho doesn't. But this is a signing we needed to make, and this is one I am excited about. His time at Chelsea, obviously he's going to get spoken about a lot, that Chelsea paid a 5 million fee to send him back. But let's not forget that Chelsea did want to actually keep him. They did offer him a deal to keep him, lowered his wage, which he didn't want to do. I think they wanted to lower him to about 100 grand a week. Again, I'm not 100% certain of that, but that's what I'm hearing. So it's a little bit misleading in terms of his time at Chelsea. I do think apparently he was well thought of there, and they did want to keep hold of him. So, and let's be honest, Manchester United is a basket case. He will have spoke to Marcus Rashford, who's told him good things about Villa, good things about Emery, so it looks like he was eager to come as well. There's been rumours, hasn't there, about he wasn't willing to join on a permanent. That might well be true. So there's no sort of obligation or option to buy like the Harvey Elliot deal. For me, this isn't a problem. It was the same with Rashford, wasn't it? Although there was that talk of a £50 million fee. But again, it didn't seem like Rashford was particularly interested in staying past the summer. For me, no problem. It's going to benefit both parties. If Jaden Sancho can become Jaden Sancho again and the player that he's capable of being, it's only going to benefit Villa, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's only going to benefit Villa, and it's only going to benefit him if he goes on to get a move next summer like Rashford got to Barcelona or somewhere of that ilk. It means he's going to have a very, very good season with Villa. So for me, the wages are obviously going to come into question as well, aren't they? I think Villa are reportedly, again, a lot of rumours, isn't there? Around 160 grand a week that Villa will be paying 80% of his wages. So it's a lot of money, of course it is, but Villa have let a lot of players go this summer. We needed reinforcements, we needed quality, and I think this man is worth the punt. I really do. And obviously the other transfer of the day, the one that kind of goes under the radar, no one's really talking about, is that of Victor Lindelof. Doesn't really whet the appetite, does it? Doesn't really get you excited, but it's a sensible signing, isn't it? It is a sensible signing. Again, spoke about this yesterday, so I won't do it too much, but 31 years old, free agent, not sure what he's getting paid, but it's a smart, sensible signing. To be fair, I've seen quite a lot of Man United fans say that he was decent for them, he wasn't a problem. Probably harshly treated at times by certain sections of the fan base, but again, look at players like Maguire, Rashford in the past. Manchester United is Manchester United, and the circus that comes with that sometimes can weigh heavy on their players, and that may have well have been the case with Victor Lindelof, but it's a sensible signing for me. So low risk. There's been questions, will he play at right back? Potentially. Villa seem to be looking for that hybrid right back, centre back for a while now, don't they? Is Victor Lindelof that? I don't think Emery is looking at that as the option initially, but if he can fill in and do a job there, that's even better, isn't it? But for me, he's going to fill in at that right centre back position if Ezri Konsa, God forbid, gets injured or has any more suspensions. I think Matty Cash is going to stay as the right back for the foreseeable future. Was pretty telling when he got dragged off and Brad Burrows come on, the youngster, against Palace, wasn't it? So was that a little bit of a hint to the owners that we need to get some transfer business done? Emery's got his business done now. He's surely, as though he might be frustrated with the window, of course he is, we all are. We've seen what Vidagani said in that tweet last night. He was extremely honest, referred to the financial regulations as an evil circle, and he's not wrong at all. Villa have had their hands behind their back all window, and credit to them for getting done what they've got done. So it can't be easy. It can't be easy at all. I know a lot of people will have criticised Monchi and maybe Emery to some extent, but I don't think we can underestimate how difficult this window has been for Aston Villa. I mean, you're looking at signings Sunderland have made. They've brought Gertruder in as well. I mean, I think he was apparently offered to Villa, so I think they've got him on a loan or a really cheap fee, and it's just like, it's crazy that we can't get those kind of deals done. We're almost punished for finishing in the European spots, whereas Sunderland can come up from the Championship and almost spend what they want. It's just crazy where football is at the moment, isn't it? But that's the incomings. But again, there's a certain man that made the day all about himself, didn't he? And that is Emiliano Martinez. I never thought I'd be talking about Emmy Martinez in this way. I absolutely adored the bloke. One of my favourite ever Villa players since I've been watching the club for 25 years or so now. He goes down in my greatest ever 11, best goalkeeper I've seen at Aston Villa. And it's really disappointing to see the way that this has been handled over the last 48 hours or whatever it's been. Even since January, apparently, when he's been in talks with Man United. Him moving or him wanting to move on isn't really the issue for me. I don't really blame him for that. I don't blame him for fancying a new challenge. Was Villa part of that reason? Were they telling him, find yourself a new club. We want to get this wage bill down. You're our highest earner. You're 32, 33 years old. It's his birthday today, isn't it? So can't really wish him a happy birthday after the last couple of days. But there's a lot of mitigating circumstances that might be in there. So it's easy to look at and say, well, he's refusing to play. But it seems like Emery didn't want him in the squad. But for me, that means his head still wasn't in the right place, was it? Him and his agent have left it very, very late in the window and pretty much threw the club under a bus for me. So it's very disappointing to see the way he has conducted himself, taking selfies in the airport, pouting with a peace sign. It's a little bit like, just read the room, just a tad, just read the room, just a tad. Like, a lot of fans are frustrated with what's gone on. He didn't play. Could he have made a difference in that game? Potentially, but he's not the reason we can't score goals at the moment, is he? But it is disappointing the way it's been handled. Where do we go from here with Emmy? A lot of people will be like, oh, cast him into the under-21s. He can't play again. Let him rot. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I'm as frustrated with him as most fans, but he's got to be reintegrated. He's for me, he's going to be number one again. Whether he plays against Everton in a couple of weeks' time wouldn't surprise me one bit. Will he issue some sort of statement? I don't think we're going to receive anything. I don't think the fans are going to get any sort of apology. Do we deserve it? Do we need it? I don't know. That's another question altogether. The people who really needs to make it up to are his teammates, aren't they? And Unai Emery. They're the ones he let down on Sunday. So they're the ones that he'll need to get back on side. And if his head's in the right place, if he's fully committed, we've got a great goalkeeper there, so hopefully he can rediscover his form and just knuckle down and focus on this season and starting afresh, really. Whether he goes in January, this is what I was kind of hoping would get resolved yesterday, and we'd probably see him get sold yesterday. We don't want this to be an ongoing thing every window. Will it carry on in January, like I say, or next summer? It's just going to become a bit of a saga, obviously. His valuation's just going to decrease by the window as well. And it was left too late for Villa to go and find a replacement goalkeeper. We're talking about Diogo Costa. How are we going to go and get him out of Porto with just a few hours left of the window? It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So it was really difficult. We've seen the Jacob Tanzol reports that he was sat in Bodymore waiting for a phone call that never came from Manchester United. He even has asked Lisandro Martinez to try and hurry a move along. I think he's been led on a string by Ruben Amorim as well, and there was no offer that ever came, despite them being in talks for so long. There was no offer that ever came other than a pathetic loan move, which was never ever going to happen or suit Villa at all. So disappointing, but he's still here now, and we have to get behind him if he does pull the Villa shirt on again, which I'm sure he will. So moving on from that now. Let's take a look at some of the outgoings through the summer. Obviously, we've seen Ramsey go. That was the big one, wasn't it? Leon Bailey went. Leon Bailey was obviously the one. Wasn't too sorry to see the back of him. Will always appreciate what he did in that season where we got Champions League. He was absolutely outstanding, wasn't he, that year? And he'll always be remembered for that season. But it was time to move on. He had a torrid time last season. He just seems a player that just lacks confidence sometimes, lacks belief. If things don't go his way, head goes down. I almost felt sorry for him at times last season. But yeah, he'll be at Roma now for the season. Whether he comes back, if they buy him on a permanent, we'll obviously have to see how he gets on this season. Ramsey, like I say, is the big one. Still disappointed by that. I think that's the one that's upset the team a lot. Is that part of the reason why some of the players are frustrated with Martinez? Because if Martinez could have... Martinez and his agent could have sorted out a deal earlier on in the window, maybe Ramsey wouldn't have had to get sold. Seems to be a lot of frustration there, doesn't there, with the likes of Tyrone Mings specifically. So we'll never know. But he's gone now, and that's that. It was good money for Aston Villa, so pure profit. I mean, there was the talk of William Osula coming the other way yesterday. Got to be honest, I'm happy this one didn't go through. If he's not in Newcastle's plans, should he be in Aston Villa's? For me, no. Is he worth 30 million at this point? No. Looks very raw, so I'm kind of happy this one didn't get over the line. Don't know how far it got, but what's frustrating is more the fact that UEFA almost blocked it by saying, they were going to look into it and see it as a potential swap deal with Jacob Ramsey, meaning it would lower our pure profit fee or whatever it is, which is just wrong. I mean, you look at the deals that Chelsea are doing. I mean, they've just sold Ben Chilwell practically to themselves, to their sister club, or Strasbourg, whoever it is. It's just it just is an absolute mess, isn't it? The business side and the financial aspects of football at the moment. But again, that's a whole other discussion, isn't it? We'll stick away from that for now. Obviously, the other outgoings, did they class as outgoings, were the loans? Obviously, Asensio. That was a huge discussion, wasn't it? People saying Asensio had signed, it was all but done. Who knows how far along that deal got? But for me, I think Villa got the better deal in Harvey Elliot, to be honest. Asensio, when he hit the ground running, didn't he? And he was sensational. I think he scored 8 goals in almost no time. But his form did fall off a cliff, and it was a bit concerning for me, to be honest. It just couldn't keep up that form after he missed those 2 penalties against Southampton. He missed that 1-on-1 against PSG. He just couldn't rediscover how that form when he first hit the ground running. And for me, people will say it reminded them of the Coutinho deal. I don't think I have referenced that myself. I don't think he's as injury prone as Coutinho was. Is he a little bit younger possibly? But probably on a huge wage as well. So I'm kind of happy Villa didn't end up getting that deal done in the end. Rashford obviously going to Barcelona. That was never going to become a permanent deal, was it? If he was going to if he was linked with a move there, he was always going to choose Barcelona. Would there have been potential for another loan like Sancho if Barcelona didn't come calling? Possibly, but I didn't really see that one ever happening, to be honest. And Disasi was the other one. Again, Disasi had no real impact. I think he had a decent game against Brentford when he played right back. However, there was a couple of clumsy challenges in that game, I remember, on another day. Could have given a penalty or 2 away, so I wasn't overly impressed with him. He was better when he played centre-back. Obviously, that Man City game springs to mind, doesn't it, when he let Doku drift past him and put a ball in the box, which you could say was the game that ended our Champions League's hopes. So he's one, no real impact for me. You could say Bogard is the natural successor to whatever he was. And that pretty much rounded up the window. So, like I say, deadline day was a very, very drama-packed day, wasn't it? It's been a stressful few months for us Villa fans. But it was a real throwback, like I said at the start of the video, like the old school kind of deadline days with Jim White, yellow tie, fans at the training ground and stuff, watching the players come in. But I am glad to see the end of that window, and now Villa can focus, restart the season when we take on Everton, and I can't wait for that game now. It's going to be a tough one, Sunderland after that as well. Nothing's easy in the Premier League, there's no gimmies, but I'm backing Villa to get back to it now. Now there's clarity there, we know who's staying, who's gone. We just have to lock in, get behind them now, trust Unai to get it right, and I'm sure he will. Can't wait for Everton. I'll be at that game in a couple of weeks' time at the Hill Dickinson. So yeah, bring it on. Let me know your thoughts, guys, on that on the window as a whole, on deadline day. What do you make of the Elliot, Sancho and Lindelof signings? Let me know in the comments. Like I say, great to talk in a bit more detail than I usually do on the short format videos. Discuss things a bit more sensibly and a bit more in depth as well. So plan on doing a lot more. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, up the Villa.